Hello everyone, so in this video we are going to discuss about transformation of signal, and we'll discuss two basic type of transformation, which is scaling and shifting. So before going in depth of the mathematical and graphical explanation of shifting and scaling of a signal, we'll first understand what is transformation of signal and why it is required, like what we are actually doing when we say we are transforming a signal. So I've already explained that a continuous time signal is denoted as xt. So when we do some operations on the independent variable, here the independent variable is t, which is time. So when we do some operations on this independent variable time, then we say that we are transforming our signal. So what kind of transformation we can do? Like we can multiply our independent variable with some scalar, suppose k times t, or we can add and subtract some scalar from our independent variable. So these are some basic kind of transformation, or we can do both, like kt plus minus q. This way, by multiplying or adding or subtracting some scalars from our independent variable time, we are basically transforming our signal from one form to other. So that is basically a transformation. And I'll give you an example to understand use of transforming a signal from one form to other. Suppose I have a message signal, that is some voice message signal, and we are denoting it with xt, and we want some yt, which is faster version of our voice message signal. So we want to hear our message signal at a faster rate, which we usually do while watching some YouTube videos. What we do, we basically go to the settings and change the playback speed from normal to some 1.5x and 2x. So basically we want to hear our message at a faster rate. So we make a system. Here I am addressing my system as an audio system, which takes our message signal as input and produce its faster version as yt. So what this audio system is doing is basically it is producing a yt which is equals to x k times your independent variable, that is t. So for an example, suppose we want to hear our message signal at 2x speed. So what we'll do, we'll take x of 2t. Or suppose we want to hear our message signal to some slower rate, so we'll do x of t by 2. So in this manner, by transforming our independent variable, we can transform our signal. And this is also an example of scaling operation. So this also explains how scaling works. So in scaling, we basically multiplies a scalar with the independent variable. Now to understand transformation a bit more, we will use MATLAB, and what we will do, we will pick a input signal xt, which is basically sine t, and we'll do all the operations like time shifting, this implies that we will add some scalar or subtract some scalar from that t, which in turns make your sine t plus minus k. Then we'll do time scaling as well. We'll see when we multiply some scalar to our independent variable how it changes the output. Then we'll do time reversal. We'll see time reversal operation. This is same as time scaling, just multiplying our independent variable with -1. So it is x of minus t. So how it will change the output? So rather than like doing it on paper, it's better to code it and see the output and understand it in a better manner. We'll also do some combinations of all of the above combinations. So in this manner you will get to know like how all these operations works. So let's code it. So to start with, we'll first take our time interval. So t is equals to minus 5 with time step of, I'll take 0.1. You can take more time steps between -5 to 5 as well. So it will vary from -5 to 5. Now our function x of t is basically sine of t. So we'll enter xt is equals to sine t. So now let's see how this plot looks like. So we will plot xt with varying value of t, which is varying from -5 to 5 with a time step of 0.1. So let's see the plot. So we'll run this code. So you can see we are getting -5 to 5, a sine curve. Now we will add a new variable, that is y of t, which is basically your transformation of x of t. So we'll start with our time shifting transformation. So what we will do, we will add some scalar and subtract the scalar from that independent variable t and see how the plot behaves. So our y t will be sine of t plus 1. So we are adding one scalar to our independent variable, and we will plot both the plots on the same figure. So I'll add some notations that makes the plot looks good. So this I'll explain what I am doing. When I'll plot, it will become clear. So we'll add hold on, then we'll plot our yt with t, and we will add a marker which is circle, and we also make the grid on so that we can understand where our x equal to 0 and y is equals to 0 axes are there. So that will give you a better idea of how the plots are varying. So these things will get clear once you see the output figure. So what I did here, so this is our yt function, which is sine of t plus 1. So plot 1 is your original function, which is your x of t, which is varying with t, and marker is given by star. So the graph with star mark, that is in blue, is your original signal. And hold on help you to plot two plots on the same figure. So here once you put the hold on, then you plot your yt varying with t, then it will superimpose on your previous plot, and that is exactly what is happening. And here the marker is circles, so here you can see the circles. So this is your graph of your output. So you can see what is happening here. If you'll see, this is your x is equals to 0 and y is equals to 0 line. So earlier this position was x equal to 0 comma 0. Now the function is basically shifting to a new value. So here if you'll see, so now the value is changed to -1 comma 0. So what it is explaining? It is explaining that our transform signal is delayed by 1 unit as compared to our original signal. So our original signal is given in this blue line, and our transform signal is given in this orange line. So you can see the function which was taking 0 value at x is equals to 0 comma 0, now taking the same value 0 at minus 1 comma 0, that is your function is delayed by a unit. So why this is happening? When you add some scalar to your independent variable, your function got delayed. So that is the inference out of it. Now we'll close this figure, and now we'll just make a small change, that is t minus 1. So I think you are a bit clear right now what will be the output of this transformation. And when you see the output, so this is it, you guessed it right, the function will advance to one step. So earlier x is equals to 0 comma 0 now becomes x is equals to 1 comma 0. So earlier the signal was taking 0 value at x is equals to 0 comma 0, now the same value is given at 1 comma 0. That means your signal is getting advanced at every step. So you will see an advanced version of your signal. So adding a scalar gives a delayed version of the signal, and subtracting a scalar from your independent variable will give advanced version of your signal, and you can directly see by the graphs. So now let's do some different transformations. So now we see the shifting property, like if we add some scalar and subtract, let's do some scaling property. So for scaling, I've already explained what you have to do. You have to multiply some scalar to your independent variable. So let's multiply minus 1 first. So this is a special kind of scaling. So when you multiply minus 1 with your signal, what happens? Let's see. Yeah, you can see here the signal got reversed with respect to your x is equals to 0 and y is equals to 0. You can see it's a mirror image of the signal around this line. So that is time reversal. So if you will multiply minus 1 with your independent variable, it will give you a time reversal form. So you can see this is a mirror image. So this was your original signal and this is your transform signal. So it is just a mirror image of your signal. So this is a special kind of scaling, and you can do other scaling as well, like some definite value. So let's see scaling with a value which is greater than 1 and scaling with a value which is less than 1. So let's see, I'll take 2 first and see what is happening. So let's see the output of this. So now what is happening, if you take a scalar value which is greater than 1, the signal seems shrinked or compressed version of its original form. So the original form was expressed in this blue curve, and the new version, that is transform version or compressed version, is given by this orange figure. So what is happening, that once you take some value which is greater than 1 and scale your independent variable, it compresses your signal by that amount. And if you take some value which is less than, suppose I will taking 0.5, so what will be the output? It will basically delete your signal or expands your signal for that interval, and that is happening exactly here. So for the interval this, your output version is expanding or deleting in the output. So that is the effect. And when you add some like negative sign to it, it will basically take the mirror image of that also. So it will first do the deletion or compression and then reciprocate it if you use some negative sign here. So just let's have a quick look on that. So suppose I'll take -2 here. So -2 is what it is doing. It is first compressing that signal by that unit and then reciprocating it towards this axis. So you'll get a reciprocal of that also. So now let's combine some of these processes. So what I'll do, I'll first take the time reversal and then shift the signal by 1 unit. So let's see what is happening here. So this was your x is equals to y is equals to 0 point, and now it is shifted to 1 unit also, and the whole graph is also reversed along this axis. So you can do various combination on this. The only idea behind is this: if you add some scalar, it will make your output a delayed version of the original version. If you subtract some scalar from your independent variable, it will advance your signal. If you multiply a scalar to your independent variable which is greater than 1, then your output will compress. And if you multiply a scalar which is between 0 to 1 to your independent variable, it will expand your signal. And if you will multiply with the negative value, suppose you are taking sine minus t, it will do the time reversal of that. So it's just a basic understanding. So if you'll get all these in pictures in your mind, you can easily do numericals on it. Thank you.